Good morning, guys. Welcome to a new week. It's Monday and I'm excited. I'm going on a field trip today and Kylie's class to the Indiana State Museum, and we're gonna do some exploring there. But I wanted to start a new series this week on beekeeping. So if you happened to tune in yesterday on Facebook, I had some information about our bees, well, I guess picture documentary. I wanted to go live when Bill was gonna put the bees in. Hey Tina! So I'm talking more about our bees. So we took the bees up to my dad's basically, and I was gonna do a live video when he released them, but I was like really afraid there might be like bad words coming out of his mouth if he started getting stung, because Bill decided that he was going to not wear his bee suit. Like, he has the whole getup, and you may have seen my pictures on Facebook, but I was afraid. I'm like, what if the bees like start swarming and like come at me and come at Bill? And I thought, I'm not even gonna do it. Well, the funny thing was, no. So how we got into this whole bee thing is, well, I don't even know for sure. I asked Bill this last night. I said, how did this like all come about? Because both of us are people that like different things, and we have different hobbies, and we like to try new things. And so we had been watching a Netflix a documentary, I guess, about bees, and we both found it super fascinating. And I don't know, maybe last fall he got some beeswax from some local people and was melting it down. He's been doing all this stuff with candles for a while. So I think it just was an interest that we both had. I like honeybees hi there. I like honeybees just because my name means honeybee, so I've always kind of had a fascination with bees. I don't like getting stung, and somebody posted that we could keep the bees because they were afraid they would get stung. However, what I've learned, I mean, watching these bees yesterday, like I said, none of them really they were very docile, and so we had sprayed them with some sugar water, like as we were making that transition from taking them out of the hive to putting them in, or taking them out of their box to putting them in a new hive that Bill had built, which people were saying they'd never seen anything like it because Bill designed it and like made it himself. So we'll see how the bees do with that. But I thought they were gonna go like crazy. There were gonna be bees everywhere, and I thought it might be a little rambunctious, so I didn't tape it live, but it wasn't. It was like they were so calm, and they hardly moved for a while. It took them a while before they started figuring out how to get out of the hive and how to get back in the hive, but it really was a cool process. So these bees are up at my dad's. You see we have a beautiful lot that's wooded. This lot sold me when I was looking at houses. However, Bill the bee man had the opportunity to get some extra bees yesterday from a guy that was wanting to downsize, and we thought about putting them over on like the back of our house. I would love it, because I think just watching him at my dad's, it was fascinating. But I got to thinking, I'm like, okay, so we have birthday parties, and because our house is small, we usually come outside and the kids play, and my kids sometimes will have friends over to the backyard. And I just thought, gosh, do I really want to take that chance of having bees swarming and kids, freaking out? And you know what happens when you start swatting at bees? They sting you. So bees normally, though, don't sting. And that's what I want to say, is that most creatures, I mean, like dogs, they don't normally come up and just bite you unless you threaten them. Now, it does happen, but same thing with bees. They don't normally just come up and like sting you. It's usually when you get into their area. Which brings me to the point, about 10 or 11 years, no, it's been more than that, about 12 or 13 years ago, I got stung by a wasp right in the crevice of my hand here, my hand that has nerve damage. And that thing, after I got stung, my whole hand from the wrist down was swollen up like a balloon for days. It was awful. So I think I'm pretty highly allergic to wasps. That's something to be like, I'm always on the watch for wasps. But bees, I don't think so. I've been stung many times. I don't know if, over time, I know they can get worse and worse, but I haven't been stung by a bee for a long time. So we'll see if I get stung by some, but I just thought it probably is better that we don't have them in our backyard, just because we are in a neighborhood and houses are close together, kids are over here, but I think it would be fun in the future. So Bill is excited. If anybody locally, like in the Fishers area, would like to have bees, he would love to like experiment with them and bring them to your yard, and we'd collect the honey and give you some and all that kind of stuff. But the thing about starting bees is it takes a while to develop the honey, and you got to make sure over the winter they've got enough food. So it may be next year before we really can harvest the honey if we have a good supply.